Hello YouTube, it's Chris with Kerbal Space Program. I'm gonna show you guys a mod called MechJeb. You may have seen it or heard of it, seen it in other YouTube videos. The program or the plugin does pretty much everything that you want to do in Kerbal. Does it for you. Launching, getting to orbit, rendezvousing with other craft. It even does docking now. It works pretty well. I haven't had any too many issues with it. Sometimes it seems like it's not working, and of course, me being impatient, I push it and rush it and end up screwing something up. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Just gonna build a quick rocket and launch it into space, and I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I built a rocket. This is actually the second one. I put one up in space already because I'm going to show you how to dock using MechJeb. So we'll get this bad boy into orbit, and then we'll do a rendezvous, and then we will do a docking maneuver. So let me get into space. Alright, so we're in space, and MechJeb is circulating the orbit. As you can see, we're at the apoapsis, and it is extending around the planet, and shortly we will be in a circular orbit at just about 100 kilometers and at an inclination of just about 0. It kind of goes, in tenths. It could be, 0.4 inclination or anything like that. It just kind of depends on how the system calculated it. So right now we are in orbit and MechJeb shut off. So now let's see if we can dock to something here. Just see. Okay, here's the other thing I had. Now I got kind of a few things on the same track, so it's a little bit difficult sometimes to target one thing. Let's use the planet as a bounce and see if we can get that's one thing I don't really like about stuff in orbit here. Sometimes it's tough to get to target it, and I know there's an add-on to do it, but I don't have it. So let me see if let's see. Well, let me try to target something, and I'll bring it back. Okay, after some creative clicking, I believe I found the right part here. So we're going to do the first part of the rendezvous and let the autopilot take over. It's going to align the phase. So we're at the same phase as the target vehicle, and then we'll do some other maneuvers. Now, I had the original MechJeb. I think it was like version 1.9 something, and the forums went down, and I couldn't get this newest version until they went back up. And I got used to the other MechJeb, and there was some features in there that I liked a lot better. I think it was a lot neater interface than it is now, and I know you can do custom windows in this one. There's just a lot of information, and sometimes it just becomes overwhelming, and the fact that it doesn't save your custom windows yet is, I really don't use them because of that. I like to know what I have in Delta V for my stages, and then for the total, and I like to know what I've used in Delta V to get into orbit. Those are some things that they're helpful to me. I like seeing that because it kind of helps you plan on how much fuel and stuff that you're using on getting into orbit and how much you really need. So in that sense, this MechJeb has, it is a little bit better, but I just think overall it's just so much stuff at once that as long as you can filter it out and not need it all, then you're okay. So this is gonna be a little while for it to get to the rendezvous, and then once we're there, we will set up the docking autopilot, which I'm awful at docking. I've done it maybe 5 or 6 times, actually trying, and it took me forever. So it is kind of nice to have the docking autopilot. Now, a lot of people say that this is cheating. I guess it is and it isn't. Where I've put ships into orbit. I've changed what the inclinations and stuff like that. I've done that. I've docked in space. I've gotten a probe to the moon and in orbit around the moon. So it's stuff that I've already done, and obviously I'm not as efficient as MechJeb, but I've done it. So I just think of it now as, okay, so I got past that hurdle. Let's express lane this thing so I can try other things. Right now I'm trying to build a space station in orbit. I'm having a hell of a time getting fuel up there. Some reason the rockets just don't work for me. And once I do that, then I'll probably start developing a lander for the moon. But I'll do that all by hand a couple times first, just so I know I can do it. And then as I've gotten better at it, and I can use MechJeb to just make it more efficient and use less time, because obviously time is critical, and I don't have a lot of it. So as long as you get the mundane stuff out of the way, then that's kind of why I like MechJeb. Now we're in the Hohmann transfer stage, and this takes the orbit from a smaller orbit or a larger orbit into a smaller orbit or a larger orbit in reference to the target. It's kind of a fuel efficient way. Usually it's a two-stage. You'll expand your orbit into an elliptical, or something like that, and then and it just makes it more efficient to transfer for the rendezvous. Now, going to start seeing the other ships soon, and then we'll set it up for a dock. There is it coming over the horizon there, and you can see it right there. And obviously it works. It's very efficient. You don't waste a lot of fuel to get into a rendezvous, and now it's going to slow down to match the velocity and bring down the target velocity, so we're kind of in an equal footing here. Now the other ship looks like it is upside down to us. Alright, so it's going to get in closer here, which I'll probably end up switching over to point the docking port up to this vessel here. Or it actually might even try to put it in the right position, knowing that I'm going to be setting up a dock anyway. Or not. I guess it's going to slow down now. Nice view of the planet Kerbin. A lot more land than you'd think for a water planet, but maybe that's just me. As you can see, we're getting closer. We're approaching the target at 1.3 meters per second, so it's a nice, slow, controlled speed. I have solar panels on both of these ships, so I'm not worried about running out of power. If I have to, I'll just put out the panels and then wait for the next, if we're not in the sun, then I'll just have it go around again. So we're going to get probably down to about 10 meters is what it's saying, and I might just be able to get the docking port from here. So I'll set that as the docking port. Now it's going to equal out the velocities, so we're in the same, or very close to the same speed. And so that's it. That's the rendezvous, and obviously you can see it's precise. I mean, it's better than I could ever do with movement, maneuver nodes, and everything like that. So we're going to go ahead and hit the docking autopilot, and we've already got the target, and I've set it for this docking port at the end, which obviously you can't see because I forgot to put lights on these, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it do its thing. Now it's going to flip around, probably, you can see here the X, Y, and Z coordinates that it's automatically moving to adjust those. And as quick as that was, we should be docking soon, I'd hope. Now it's unaligned or misaligned here. I'm hoping that it does its thing. I found that sometimes it doesn't work quite like it should. Oh, look, avoid hitting target, so back that truck up. Now I'm just going to stay hands-off on this because every time I do something, I end up screwing it up, and I'm not sure if it's just me being impatient or if maybe it's glitchy. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. Now, I don't know if I have to select this from control from here. I don't know if that makes a difference. Well, I'm going to let it run for a minute, and then once I see that it's starting to actually work, I'll get back. As you can see, this is still not happening. It's been about 2 or 3 minutes since I last recorded, and it seems to be getting further away. Now, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the autopilot off. And then I'm going to flip this around, hopefully to match the direction of the target here. Now I'll be not using RCS because I don't want to throw this thing out of its particular reference to the target, because I would like to just turn it enough so maybe that it can initiate its docking. Again, this is me being impatient and not waiting, because maybe it would have fixed itself. I don't know. I guess I should try patience as a virtue. It is one. Alright, so or at least facing the same way. Let me go back to the first ship and set as target. I'm just going to put control from here. I don't know if it makes a difference, but let's see now. Let me just get a little bit closer here. Now I could probably dock this by manually from here, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and let that do its thing again. hasn't done anything yet. So I'm going to let this run again and check back in a minute. So I used time acceleration and it went nuts, and it just kind of kept drifting away. So I just turned time acceleration down, and then it started doing its little burn thing, and now it's going back towards the target. I don't know. Is it me? Let me know if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm not giving it enough time, or what. But it's just seems to be the case every time I try to. There's only been one or two times where it was like instant. It, you know, docked right up, and every other time I've done it, it's been something like this. So I keep letting it run here. Yeah, as you can see, mechanical Jeb has gone completely insane. It's saying it's backing up, moving towards docking access, and the ship is 360 meters away, and the gap is widening. Okay. So, I guess let's just really screw it up and have this dock with that while it's trying to dock with it, and see what happens. Look at you go. What the hell is going on? I had a rocket do this, it exploded on the ground though. We're gonna run out of RCS before we dock. Okay. What is going on here? That must be because one of them's trying to do one thing and the other one's trying to do the other. Let's kill the rotation on this. Yeah. Alright. Now what's that other one doing? Yeah, ran out RCS. So, failure, and it's got to be me. I can't imagine that it's MechJeb, but yeah, failure to even remotely come close to docking. Oh well. We'll try it again.